She got a nice voice, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, y'all been there making hits all day there, bro. Hey, I love that. That's what's up, bro. I'm listening. I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, everything. It was, you know, based around the title of the project and everything. You know, the song title, something like you took your time with it. Yeah. That's what I liked about it. It wasn't just a bunch of trap rap. You know what I'm saying? Getting more like, nah, it has some substance to it. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful project. It's beautiful. Collaborate with your wife, man. That speaks volume, bro.
Oh yeah.
I
do know that because for a while I wasn't gonna do it.
It's because they just didn't
I
have
even started making music in the first place.
Yeah,
I started
stuff that we got now.
and stuff, and she was supportive
when they
on
changed it
speakers,
in 1930s,
equipment,
like
and
Rothschild.
eventually it turned into
like, oh, Rothschild.
I think I want to record.
Yeah.
The first song I recorded, she got on. It's not on there.
Yeah.
That's supposedly.
Okay, so y'all ever
It's supposed to be different.
get in there and kind of go bar for bar, or has she ever made you rewrite a verse?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah, not yet.
Yeah.
Because normally we don't write together.
Oh,
So
you gotta just go in there and do your thing, and she'll kind of follow the speech.
All right, welcome to OC Life, where we turn your life into a message. OC Life podcast is sponsored by our platinum host, BNB-SUITES, as well as UCS Cleaning Service, Divine Ingredients CEO Jamari here, as well as Unique.shapwear, which is Jarvis' wife. If you want to get your shapewear, if you want to get right, look right, fit right, please go to Unique.shapwear right off of Fort Hood Street. We have a special guest here, Phil. We're going to be talking about music, and we're going to be talking about his passion for music as well. And all of our hosts here, we're all hosts on our OC Life podcast. We have Jarvis, our co-host. We have Breonn. We have Phil as our special guest. We got the jokester, CT. And we have Mari, Mr. Logic. Both these guys are full of logic, so I had to split them up because they go dual for dual on that. As you know, on our podcast, what we really want to do, we want to turn your life into a message. And guys, before we start, I know that we was faced with a very, very, very tragic news at Robb Elementary. So we're going to get into Jarvis' Corner. We want to talk about that for a few minutes. I really want your guys' feedback on that and the guns in Texas and how we can collaborate together maybe try to do some things of that nature. So let's get ready to go to Jarvis' Corner right here, and we'll go ahead and start our podcast.
Today's message for today is going to be time. I think we all need to understand that we only have a valuable time on this earth. We don't have much time to do any crazy things in this world. We have to value everything that we do with our family, with our friends, with work. You know what I'm saying? We have to take the time to understand that, you know, there's people in the hospitals right now that's suffering right now. There's people that's already passed, and people that had heart attacks, people that have cancer. So we have to really understand that we need to take time to understand that life is valuable, and never take it for granted. Make sure you enjoy life to the fullest. And also, we want to take this moment to say to Robb Elementary, man, to all the families out there, we just want to send our prayers out to you guys and wish y'all nothing but just love, peace, and joy, man. We just hope, you know what I'm saying, we can just be with you.
All right, listen. So we're sponsored by Divine Ingredients, right? We're sponsored by UCS Cleaning Service, BNB-SUITES, which is the #1 Airbnb here in Central Texas. We want you to like and subscribe to this video. We want to hear your feedback. Guys, I want to jump right in. I know everybody here probably has a heavy heart. You know, we all have children, nieces and nephews, and brothers and sisters. I will tell you real quick, when I was in elementary school, we didn't have to worry about guns. We didn't have to worry about this. The stuff that's going on right now, I hope all of you seen Steve Kerr's message. It wasn't about basketball last night. It was truly and nearly about life in general and about getting these guns off the streets. So I'm going to open the floor up. You know, I really want us to continue to keep Robb Elementary in our prayers. But, you know, guys, how do y'all feel about that? What happened?
Man, honestly, it struck me early when I was looking into it about the young man, the 18-year-old. The first thing I thought was like, first off, why are we going to the elementary? I read up on it saying that he had some issues with bullying and stuff like that. I wouldn't say he should have went to the hospital and killed people. He shouldn't kill anyone. But the fact that we're gonna take a detour and go kill the young ones, the young people in the elementary that had nothing to do with any of the things he went through. You know, so
Innocent
that was the
children.
first thing. Yeah,
Innocent.
innocent, and teachers too. I think it was 2 teachers as well. So yeah,
And his grandmother,
man.
who was I guess fighting for her life right now.
Yeah.
He killed the first.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
started.
shot at the first.
It makes no sense.
Right.
It makes no sense. I mean, you have children that are learning in school.
Right.
Matter of fact, school is about to be out. They're getting ready to prepare.
That's kind of what struck me is that school is getting ready to be let out. We had a young man get stabbed here at Belton High School
Right.
off of a prom, and they're getting ready to graduate. He's a senior, and
And
then you got countless stuff going on.
2 lives are lost in that situation.
Yeah.
You see? And then, in my opinion, people don't think before they do. And you react. And then you choose kids. Why? The biggest question is why. We'll never know why.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's passed away, he's dead now. Yeah. And so, what do we do to protect our children? You're supposed to send your children to school. First of all, the doors are supposed to be locked in the schoolhouse anyway, especially at the elementary school.
Yeah.
So what do we do? You have people questioning, well, should I homeschool my kids? Should I not send them to school? Should we go back to virtual? What do we do? And like I said, it's nonsense. It's malarkey. There's no room. There's no explanation. There's nothing that you can say well, this was acceptable whatsoever.
I mean, I agree, man. It's sad. It's senseless. I mean, with just everything going on in the world, man, we in dark times. So, you know, kind of to just touch on what Jarvis was saying, man, just stay strong in your beliefs and pray, and you know, control what you can. At the end of the day, that young man, there's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean? As far as the household, the parenting, how he got the money to go and buy all this artillery, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? By the end of the day, we can't change what's done. We can only, you know, do our best to focus on what we can do moving forward as far as protecting
sure.
those that are in your life and yourself and things of that nature. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Like you said, what do you do?
That's one of the main reasons why I have my children in K through 12. You know.
Right.
So
But you homeschool your kids.
Yeah, I do.
But let the viewers know, there's a lot of people that don't know about homeschool. They don't know about the benefits of being able to have resources, laptops, iPads, all that stuff. There's a lot of people that don't know about that. So let the viewers know, kind of real quick, what your process was.
Oh, most definitely, man. Just go over to K-12.com. They do it with like in slots, so you have to be on it to earn a slot. Have all your paperwork ready, but once you get accepted to the academies that's available, pretty much they'll just get you settled in, and they'll send you everything you need: laptops,
Sure.
I mean, printer, I mean, everything you need, different activities for different projects, and my children love it, man. So I really recommend. This tragedy was like that confirmation for me today, and say, hey, you're doing something right, So I would really recommend everybody to go out and do that.
Let me ask a question for the whole OC Life podcast team. Do you all feel that this is going to really have more parents go to more homeschooling or more private schools? Like, what's going to be the impact of this?
Well, I think so. I mean, look at what COVID did for a lot of people. You know what I mean? The fear factor that came from a sickness and ailment. So now we're talking about people being gunned down in school. That far exceeds. As serious as COVID was, I would say we're just now, kind of getting out of COVID, and to follow up with mass murders at schools. Like anyone that never thought about homeschooling is definitely considering it now due to the circumstances.
For sure.
So, do you feel, CT, do you think that, well, let me ask you this question. When you were in school, did you worry about getting shot at school?
Nah, I didn't have. I didn't really have to. I never thought about getting shot. We wasn't really, worrying about that. Maybe outside, but never in school. That's where your safe haven is.
Yeah.
So why these kids didn't think about that when they woke up? You understand what I'm saying? They went to school and only one. I think they were supposed to have field day or something like that. In short, it's
these
the end
kids
of the
out here
school
have field
year.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
So you telling me that these kids have to lose their lives or nothing? You're killing our youth, our future. Come on, man.
I think it just puts the pressure on parents the most. You know, it's like kids nowadays are dealing with sexual harassment, like bullying. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. You know, it's worse now than it was back then when we was in school. You know,
Right.
it's the pressure just on these kids early, dealing with YouTube and all the things that are out there now. So.
Well, I think that is something different too. I would like to say. I think in today's society, they open up more. I think things now are more transparent. Like they're more transparent and they're more to the limelight. I think social media brings that. And let me put an analogy out there and I'll make it fast. If a kid gets into a fight today, it can go on social media and it can go viral, right? Compared to back in the day, we didn't have Facebook. We had MySpace maybe if you're around my age, but maybe Yahoo Messenger. But if they got into a fight, they could just leave the school and nobody else would know over. Let's say they moved to California and they were in New York. Right. Now, if you get into a fight in New York and it goes viral, you can go to California and still be like, hey, aren't you that kid that got beat up? Yeah. It follows you.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
Everything follows you nowadays compared to what it did back in the day. I feel like situations were still just as bad back in the day. It just was not brought to the limelight like it is today.
Yeah, 100%, guys. I know we got to pay some bills. We're being sponsored by BNB-SUITES, which is our platinum sponsor, Divine Ingredients, UCS Cleaning Services, as well as Unique.shapwear. We just want to give a quick moment of silence for the family members and all of the children at Robb Elementary. We can just give that quick moment of silence. All right. Normally we'll start this off and Phil, that you kind of came in as our special guest with the tragedy that's going on, but in the OC Life podcast, what we want to do is turn your life into a message, and we're very happy to have you as our guest and our special guest, and we all want to welcome you in your life. Now, our podcast today is about music. It just so happens to be that music is your passion, right? Yes, I will tell you, I love music. I have 9 children, and guess what? Music helped me make those 9 children, honestly. And but I will tell you, when I was on the midst of suicide, depression, all of that, overseas in Afghanistan, I will tell you, music soothed me. Music saved my life. I'm the biggest instrumental junkie there is. I just love it, right? And I know I can say the same for all of you. But Phil, we want to tell you welcome. I know this is your best friend here. This is the worst co-host ever. But everybody here has a different vision. This was Breonn's idea to talk about music, just so everybody knows. But I want to get into your life just real quick before everybody gets at you about music and how you started and the tracks that was laid. So you're 30 years old and you have a child, right? You're married. You've been married for 2 years, which is the love of your life, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
And your dad has served in the military for 24 years, and that has been pretty much your basis of discipline and all of that. And your mom and dad have been together, and you were very fortunate enough to grow up with your mom and your dad, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, at the end of the day, what ends up happening is now you transition, and now you become your own man. In our podcast, we like to turn your life into a message. So if you can give our viewers just a little bit about yourself, based off what I've already told them, and then let them know a turning point in your life, and then what happened to you when you transitioned from that turning point, when you turn your life into a mess, into now being a musician and being here today.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Pretty much the youngest of 4, family of 6, military brat, of course, and just being the youngest in the house, you always got something to prove. So, for the most part, everybody had each other's back because we wasn't around like our whole family. They would just go down the street and see cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. So it was a close-knit family, raised with respect and pride, and pretty much raised up around music. You know, both of my parents. My mom used to sing locally. My dad, he always had music going in the house from any genre you could think of. So good music was always going in our house. Turning point for me, last year I got into a real bad accident. Got my CDL, so you know I was delivering for Coca-Cola in Austin, and the winter storm hit. Pretty much got in an accident on the bridge where could have possibly flipped over. I hit the guardrail, and you know it just flashed before my eyes. I prayed and everything in the moment, so that moment taught me, you know, stop waiting to go chase your dreams. You know, don't take life for granted. Family situations like, you know, getting into it. Anybody, you know, just get it out of there. You know, move on. So that really pushed me to go take the music more serious and work on a project that I just put together.
So you talked about your life story. This for you all. You all are probably working or lifting weights or whatever you guys do. But we were talking, and one thing that did touch me was he stated that the first phone call he made was to his wife. And since you've been married 2 years, anytime you are in that kind of debacle and you get into that accident that could have ended up fatal, why did you choose your wife as your first person to call?
And my wife is my comfort zone. She's my everything. So first person I need to communicate. I didn't even call my supervisor first.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about him. I'm like, man, I need to call my wife and let her know what happened. You know, it's my best friend, so it's no secrets there. Like, as soon as I knew I was okay, call your wife. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
So you have a very unique relationship with your son. He's 7 years old.
Yes.
And you made a statement that actually it warmed my heart, because I'm like that with my sons. And you said you feel a little guilty sometimes because it's more like you're more like a friend than a parent.
Yes, sir.
And but you said discipline is still there.
Yes, sir.
You know, what built that bond between you and your son?
Having my son changed my life, first of all. Because, you know, I was out here single, doing my thing, just working, getting through for myself. Then, as soon as I found out I had a kid on the way, my life just changed. Like, I said, I'm going to make a move now, change my career path. Just, it wasn't about me no more. So, when he was born, I was, you know, holding him in my arms and stuff. I was just like, man, you know what, this is a godsend, truly, because, you know, I have something to look forward to. You know, that's my future now. Him. So, you know, just from day one. He came out with a nice personality, always smiling, just full of life since day one. So,
I need to be more like you when I grow up.
Well, I was gonna tell you that because just so you all know, you know, just so you all know, Mari knows I'm in love with his daughter. She's such a beautiful being, sweet pea. She is just amazing, and you got her in acting and all that stuff, right? And you know, your business was founded through the pandemic, right? And I think we all found some strength and some things about ourselves, our marriage, through the pandemic, right? But y'all two are very similar because of the relationship of your kids. Like, what makes it where you? Because you're all about your kids. So what makes you that way?
I mean, it's the divine ingredients. You know, it's just it's a connection that, you know, you just you in charge of how they're going to be able to manifest their future. You know, you're in charge of those things. You know, and based off the relationship I have with my family, it just drove me to be better. You know, not to take anything from my elders. Like I said, I love my elders. You know, but you see the things that were missing. It fuels you to kind of to make sure you do better. You know, and raise the standard, break generation of curses like me and my boy Jarvis is always on. But that's pretty much what's the driving force for me.
Okay. Hey, I'm looking at the kicks here. I got my icy whites on. I see some.
No, I got my work shoes on.
You know, Breonn.
He always want to do come bad for me.
This is.
I can see T got on work shoes. He
But
gonna
you know,
say
I
that.
did
I
that.
can kids.
I did that because this guy just brings joy to my heart. So real quick, guys, we were at the Wolfpack and not Wolfpack. We were at the Vipers and Bison's game, and as big as that stadium is, I heard one voice, and I knew it was you, right?
Yeah.
But now we love you, man. We want to. So hey, guys, we're gonna dig in. We're gonna dig right into music. I know y'all are itching to get at Phil and. Breonn, we want you to take the lead because so we were out of that kickback last week, right? And then we were talking about, different topics. And I had challenged everybody to start coming different topics for our podcast. And you talked about music. Why did you choose music? And then you can lead on to your questions with Phil.
For me, music, my life just revolves around music. You know what I mean? Like me and Phil were discussing, music is one thing that you can't physically touch, but can always impact you, can always put you in a certain mood, you know what I mean? And whatever mood you in, I'm sure there's a song for it, and that's just how I operate. If I can't get my words out or express myself, I try to find a song that can do it for me. Even if I can't process it to myself, I'm sure there's a song out there that can do it, or even if I'm trying to express myself to someone else, like, hey, I don't have my words, listen to this song. You know what I mean? I would say that's how I communicate with everyone.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's what works for me.
Yeah.
So I just love music.
Say that part one more time because I think for our viewers, I want y'all to make sure that you are really feeling this one because music gives out good vibes, right?
It's an expression.
It pumps us up. Listen to the game and all that. But you said that sometimes you send, like your lady, right? You'll send her a song to basically let her know how you feel.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, like in your case, when you said music helped you create the lives that you made. The same, we can flip the switch, and when we go to the football field, there's certain songs that we already know. The minute I turn this song on, I'm ready to strap up and somebody's gonna get hit.
Whatever the case.
So it's just, music is a mood. It's an entire vibe. So whatever it is you got on your mind, whatever mood you in, find a song for it and just do your thing.
So before we go any further, the Miami Heat are playing the Boston Celtics tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Jimmy Butler fan, but I do like Miami because I like LeBron James when he played there.
Oh, yeah.
Give me y'all tonight's prediction. We'll start with you, big man.
I got the Heat. I'm a Miami Heat fan.
Okay, well I thought.
No, I'm going with.
Okay. B, what you got?
I think Boston, man. I mean, they got momentum going. They've been there before. They're proven. They're hungry. They're still young. And then Miami's got a lot of injuries. They got a lot of injuries. They beat up. They banged up. And Boston coming with it. Them guys are coming back out to the court on stretchers. Yeah. Whatever it is. Marcus Smart went down. Jason Tatum went down.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. By the way, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, we had that conversation the other day where we consider Jason Tatum a superstar on the same level as Luka and Giannis. And from what he's done on both ends of the ball, and he's not getting enough credit for it, I think they can make it happen.
I think Jason Tatum's like Jarvis. He's severely underrated. Right?
Yeah.
He's kind of one of those under the radar guys, but he loves Kobe Bryant. So is that what that 2-4 is on their jersey? Is for Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So what's your prediction?
I got Boston. I'm going with Boston because of Tatum.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Tatum.
Man.
I would like for Miami to win, because I actually am a fan of Jimmy Butler. I feel like he's an underdog kind of guy.
Yeah.
But man, Tatum, he got that. He's Kobe-ish, man. He got Kobe.
Yeah.
He got that Kobe-ish going.
All right, Jokes, what you got?
I'm going with the U. We going Miami. You hear me?
Okay.
We going Jimmy Butler. Huh? You hear me? Now look, we gonna say this. Jason Tatum, he a baller. We gonna keep it real. He is a little underrated, but Jimmy Butler is underrated as well.
Jimmy Butler's not underrated.
Jimmy Butler is underrated.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Jimmy Butler's attitude to the game
is overrated. That's
his mindset to the game. I see why he got traded all those times because his mindset is not like he's a true teammate. He's got that small selfish streak. I would take Jason Tatum as a facilitator. And I'll tell you, by the way, the best player in the NBA right now, I'm talking about attitude, the whole 9 yards, is Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever his name is.
Oh, you're talking about Giannis? Yeah.
Giannis.
So let me ask you a question.
Antetokounmpo, right? We'll figure that out.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Coach O. When is the last time Miami has been to the finals without Jimmy Butler?
years old.
When LeBron was there.
Exactly. But since then, his presence took them to where they are now.
I respect
You gotta say what he's saying. He got
I think he's underrated.
But they had home court.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, we weren't talking about Jimmy Butler until
you
now.
know, which one?
That's why I say that he's underrated. You know what I mean? They've been a solid team all year, but they play team ball. It's not like we talk about Golden State, we're giving all the credit to Steph, or we're talking about Milwaukee, we're giving all the credit to Giannis.
Go see.
So, I mean, we'll see. But I'm riding with Boston. Man.
That's why you got that shirt.
All right, so let's go. We talked about Boston, right? We talked about our music. Breonn, we talked about why you chose our topic for music, and then Jarvis, we had a great example. Phil, he should. If we put you in all black, you can be my bodyguard, man. But all right, let's dig right into it. Let's dig into music and let's get after this. We all got some great opinions.
Okay, so I mean, like you touched on, you said that the car accident that you had is kind of what propelled you to jump into music. You also stated to me that you also make music with your wife, man.
Yeah.
Kind of break that down for me, man. How does that go? You know, do y'all go into the studio together? Is it kind of just you put a project together, leave an open verse, she comes in? You know, just kind of give me the rundown on how that goes about.
Well, pretty much, I'll book a session. I go to Temple to record at CTV Studios.
Okay.
And I'll let her know. You know, I say, hey, I got a session Friday, such and such time. I'll start looking at beats.
Right.
So start trying to find a beat to record on, and she'll hear me doing it and say, oh, I like that one. All right. Well, of course,
Yeah.
she made the call, so I gotta write a hook. We start putting our parts together, and let's go from there.
Gotcha. So checking out the project, I can tell it's definitely heavily East Coast influence, man. So who are some artists that you grew up on?
Jadakiss, Jay-Z, Fabulous. J. Cole's one of my favorites, of course. Just to touch on a few, that's pretty much.
Okay. Well, I guess that'll just go ahead and take me to this quick segment. We're gonna call it Quick Picks. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a little salty because you didn't mention not one artist from the South, but it's okay. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. I'm gonna give you 3 artists, and I just need you to pick off the top of your head.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna start with a quick one. We're going Cardi B, Nicki, or Meg.
Nicki.
Okay. Why?
She has the best bars. Overall artist, she's the best one out of them 3.
Okay. All right, body of music, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. If we're going East Coast, West Coast, or you taking the South?
Ooh, body of music.
You tired? East Coast? Okay. All right, if we had to pick one to ride with, Death Row, Rough Riders, No Limit. They're a complete body of work. Which one are you going with?
Oh, dude, that's a good
Death
one.
Row.
Death Row? Okay.
Body of music wise.
Yeah. Okay, give me the rundown on why is it? Even though you being from the East Coast, you know.
Tupac's catalog off that.
For sure.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Best producer.
Dude, No Limit came up with. They had CDs coming out every week.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of
They
artists.
dropped rappers.
That's a tough
They
pick,
dropped
man.
rappers like we drop.
But you going
Just
mainstream.
go classics, timeless music, or just stuff that everybody would know. You could put on the Death Row and not skip anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could say that about all 3. I mean, Death Row, Rough Riders, we got LOX, we
I don't
got DMX,
think-
Drag On.
I don't think Rough Riders is.
From a timeless standpoint,
Well, if you put
not
Bad Boy,
necessarily.
if you was to say
You know what
Bad
I mean?
Boy with that,
Yeah.
you could ride with
Different.
Bad Boy
Yeah.
all day.
You
long.
look like a Mace kind of guy too.
Yeah.
Nah, Coach, I'm gonna let you keep CC whining over there.
All right, I got 2 more for you. We're going Kanye, Drake, or J. Cole.
J. Cole.
All right. And then Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne, Carter 2, or 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
50?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, cool. So as far as, have you worked with any artists locally within the area?
Pretty much work with my own team.
Okay.
That's about it. Right now we pushing to try to get our sound out. So
Yeah.
I don't really, get in contact with anybody else at the moment. But
Hey, you're talking about promotion. This guy's the king of promotions. We went from having like 10 views on our first podcast to having like 107. So share pretty much what you would do if you were in this position as far as getting this music out, Maury.
I mean, we're gonna go with the old school saying it takes a village. You know, like you said, you work with your team. So it takes a village to raise the child. It takes a village to push a brand. It takes a village to cook sometimes, raise the children. You know, do everything. You know, build a team. So like I'm gonna go with taking a village. You just gotta have the right people around you. You know what I mean? And just as a collective, everybody pushing the same thing. Same as what we're doing right now. You know.
So listen. So everybody knows rappers, right? And you can continue. You got rappers, you got music, all that stuff, right? What I want to know is, we watched Bobby Brown, we watched New Edition, we watched the stuff with, I think it was Aretha Franklin, different little documentaries, and then the famous one, which is with Ike and Tina, right? We watched that stuff, right? But my question is, are we living in a generation that we can't go back because it's like, to me now, all music sounds the same. There's no clear distinction between, I'm gonna say Silk the Shocker back in the day with No Limit, and then Tupac. Like, to me, when I was growing up, back in the day, I was born in 1978, right? But then also too, I graduated in 96. So I was kind of in that era where it was No Limit, and it was Tupac. So, I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider, or, you know what I'm saying, like that. And then now you got Silk the Shocker, No Limit, you know what I mean? So I can tell the difference. Is there a difference in today's music, or is it just, the beat, the artist, the videos?
I think a lot of it now is just copy paste. You know what I mean? You got a lot of artists trying to be Future. You got a lot of artists trying to be NBA YoungBoy. Because it's now people understand the business approach to it. If it's not music, it's entertainment. And a lot of people that you're gonna listen to what's entertaining to you. If you like the trap rap, shoot 'em up, gang, you're gonna gravitate to that regardless of how generic or cloned it is. Like the artists you mentioned, I feel like in our time, when you listen to that music, you knew for sure it was gangster rap. If we talking Scarface, if we talking DMX, if we talking anybody at No Limit, when you listen to that music, you could hear it. There wasn't anything that was questionable about it. As opposed to today, like everything is copy paste, everything is auto-tuned, everybody got 40 Dracos. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely a different day and time now, man. So I'm just glad I came up in the era that I did, because even when we look at female artists, we had TLC, we had Aaliyah that was putting out subject matter that young people, especially young women, could relate to, that was uplifting and allowing them to work on their self-confidence. Now, every female artist we hear, like, if you broke, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm after this, I'm after that, so times have definitely changed.
Most definitely, man. I can co-sign with you on that one, man. Like, your Lauryn Hills, your Erykah Badu's.
Right.
Music with a purpose, and now, like you said, it's just a lot of copy and paste. It's more of a business model. It's just pretty much the get rich scheme. You gotta do this to get this.
Yeah.
The whole selling your soul and just kind of pretty much just putting yourself in position to get the bag versus really keeping a part of your essence, a part of yourself in the art.
So real quick, you said that, and I'm telling you, everybody here has their way, right? But I always speak highly about you, Jarvis, because coaching in our profession, and everybody has been in something of competition, right? I think if you were in the NFL right now, or you were an artist, let's say for an artist, I don't think that you would put production over a bag. I think you would, the way you're set up is, I'm gonna put out this good music. If I get a little bit of money, okay, fine, but I want it to be good sound music. Do you think that we put money over our production and our efficiency when it comes to music?
I mean, money is the root of all evil. I think that's the music is all about money. It's about what can I do? Okay, if I can be like Lil Wayne, I'm gonna be like Lil Wayne. If I can rap like Lil Wayne, I'm gonna rap like Lil Wayne. Jay-Z, I'm gonna rap like Jay-Z. That's what it is. But now
I'm gonna have to disagree. Also, as an artist, a lot of people don't know the back stuff that artists deal with. So whether it's studio time, I got a guy, I go to Yellow Beezy's engineer, and I've had people say, CT, you sound like Yellow Beezy, and I sound nothing like him. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you have labels who's like, okay, well, a little Dirk here. Hey, he's good. I like his flow, but if we twist this a little bit, we can get another little Dirk out right here.
Right.
So they're replacing the time zone, how everything used to be is not the same. So guess what? Production and the money, I'm not gonna say it go hand in hand, but you gotta pay for that production. You gotta pay for that quality. Because if I go on my iPhone right now and just make a song and I put it out, you can be like, boy, what is that?
But there is music out there that is a one-hit wonder. And you be like, how
But
did they
one
get
hit
out there?
wonder has nothing to do with what you're saying. The one hit wonder is, okay, after he produced this one hit, he was never able to successfully make another. And that comes with your team, that comes with either the label, because a lot of people don't understand. If you sign a record deal, you're already in the hole, unless you got money to put up.
Yeah.
So once you sign that deal and they front you at $200,000, you gotta think about cost of the video, cost of the studio time. If you got people in the studio, you feeding them too.
Oh yeah.
You buying alcohols, you buying bottles. You're trying to, as an artist, like you guys said, entertainment. But you have to. If you say a lot of these rappers, if you say I got a Benz or a Bentley outside or Rolls Royce, guess what these artists are trying to do? Go get this Bentley, go get this Rolls Royce. So the production is a part of it, but the money only happens because of the status. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that just boils down to you have to look yourself in the mirror as an artist. Are you going to do what's productive for your career? Or are you going to stay true to yourself? I think a prime example of that would be Kendrick Lamar's new album. I think he made that album for himself.
Right.
Wow.
Everything he was going to say, hey, I'm gonna put out the music I want to put out, and if the fans gravitate to it, then so be it. As opposed to somebody that may be in a similar situation like you, like I done got this advance. I gotta give the people what they want in order to make up, so I'm not in the red. So if I've been developing my flow and this is the type of music that I make, I gotta kind of leave myself on the back burner to continue to be productive in my career, because if I give the music out or that I want, it's not gonna be what the fans want. You know?
Right.
So and that's why I think it's important to stay true to yourself.
Right.
Because a lot of people lose sight of that when the checks is coming in, the shows is going. So
right, and then they also have it to where, like for me personally, I don't try to sound the same on each song. I want to give you a different version.
yeah.
So compared to today, if you hear the baby, he sounds the same on every song.
Yeah.
Kanye is a big guy who, on one song, he had a song with YMCA. He definitely does not sound the same on that. I didn't even know Kanye was on that song.
Yeah.
But some record labels, I'm just saying record labels, prohibit you from changing and being who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And some people just don't understand that. So even if you say, hey, I'm gonna stay to this, you say, hey, I'm gonna go to my label and I say, you know what, this is what I wanna do, this is how it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
The record label's gonna say, okay, that's cool. We're gonna push your album back.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you sign for a 4-album deal and you only on album 2 and you got 2 left and this keeps getting pushed back,
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot that goes.
yeah,
into it.
it's a lot that
you know.
goes inside to it with signing. But I definitely, it's just so much that goes into it.
So Phil, any challenges you've had? Are you independent or are you with somebody?
Yeah, I'm independent. I don't plan to change that at all.
Let the viewers know what the difference between independent is and signing.
Well, independent, you pretty much, it's all on you. You push the buttons, you decide when you're gonna drop or get your videos out. When you get under contract, like you said, you have a certain number of albums you have to push, and then they want to push a sound. They have an agenda, so I guess they feel like they know what works, and if you come in with your own ideas, it's like, nah, that don't work for us. Try it again, so it could take longer for your stuff to get out there. So I don't want to sign any paperwork to be under anybody's control, so I'd rather
So Breonn,
grind and do it myself.
question for you. Are those questions, the rapid questions, is that for just Phil, our special guest, or is that for everybody?
Oh, we can go all the way across the board.
Let's
We can go all the way across the board.
go with everybody real quick, because I think this is a fire starter to ignite something. I know
Okay.
I definitely disagree with something, but
Go ahead, start with Jarvis.
let's start with Mr.
Okay.
Quiet Storm here.
Either way, we'll just go around all the way.
Yeah.
All right. So the first
I'll
one
be
was
last.
Cardi, Nicki, or Meg.
I gotta go with Nikki.
Okay.
I gotta go with Nikki.
Coach O, who you going with?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Nicki, man. Longevity. It's hard to choose any of the young ladies because I would prefer to see like a Lauryn Hill type of vibe.
Right.
You know, but if we had to pick, we're gonna go Nicki. Longevity.
C2, who you rocking with?
I'm going Cardi, man.
Cardi? Okay.
Cardi B, man. She came. I can feel what she's saying in her music.
Yeah.
I can feel the same thing in Nicki's in the beginning, but as time went on and she started becoming mainstream, and it happens.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not the same person
Right,
you were.
part of it.
You're gonna grow.
Right.
But I feel every word that Cardi is saying when she is actually talking about something.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
I'm going Cardi as well. I think her album has subject matter to it. Nicki, I think she just gotten a lot of mainstream, and I kind of look at the person behind the music. You know what I mean? Like, could I really sit next to you and have a decent conversation?
Right.
With Meg and her, all she got going on, I'm like, you seem a little toxic. I'm
Don't tell nobody I shot you.
So I'm going Cardi for sure. So we got Kanye, Drake, J. Cole.
I gotta go with J. Cole.
J. Cole?
J. Cole,
Okay.
my guy, man.
Drake, man.
Drizzy.
Yeah, I'm going Drizzy.
Drizzy as well.
Slice of Kanye, because that's my guy.
Nah, you can't choose one.
You
got choose one.
Drake, we're gonna go
Yeah,
Drake.
you got choose one.
Coach O is officially light skinned.
Officially. He said it with confidence, too. Great. He knew. Where you going, CT?
I'm going J. Cole. The body of work, how hard he has worked to get here. A lot of people don't know J. Cole had to continue to go back to the studio before he made Work Out in 2012.
Yeah.
So J. Cole had been out since 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So he's definitely in that body of work, and same kind of thing with Kanye. So it's like really a toss up between them two, because before Kanye had College Dropout and Through the Wire, he was just a regular guy making beats.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't watched that documentary, make sure you guys do.
Cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Cole, man. I'm gonna have to go Cole. I mean, I kind of spoke on Drake and how I feel about it. Not to take anything away from him because he's an amazing artist, but I gotta go with Cole just from a subject matter. Like whatever you got going on in life, Cole already has a song for you. You just gotta find it.
Every which way.
So, all right. So now we're going East Coast, West Coast, or the South. Entire body of work. We talking East. We got Jay-Z. We got Rough Riders. We got Nas. We got Big. We go to the West. We got Death Row. We got NWA. We got TDE. We got all that. And when you come to the South, I mean, we got Atlanta all the way down. We got Memphis. We got Texas.
Right.
You know,
3-6 month.
yeah, hey, 3-6.
So,
I mean, it's a
What
lot.
you going, Jake?
I'm gonna have to go with the South.
Thank you.
Yes,
So, where you going, Coach O?
Drum roll.
Yeah.
Hypnotized Care Posse, 3-6 Mafia, the most known unknown.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Classic album, by the
Going
way.
down, you going to that dirt?
Yeah.
To that dirt?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, CT.
Man, see, man, this one hard. I was born up north. I was raised down here, man. So,
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna have to go down south.
Okay.
What about you?
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going south.
I have to go down south.
Just that body of work, man. Memphis, I mean, 3-6 Mafia, Young Buck, even up and coming Young Dog.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll say this: early 2000s, East Coast.
Yeah.
2010 back, I'm going down
Yeah,
south.
I mean, it was a lot. You know, I mean, especially Atlanta. Yeah, they made crunk music, they had trap music. You know, some Jeezy, T.I., Lil Jon. Like, they brought a whole different vibe to the music industry.
Man, Young Jeezy sounded like he was chilling on rocks. I ain't like that at first.
But when you hear a Jeezy beat, you
What
can't
you
control
feel?
yourself.
Yeah.
You hear bottom of the map start, and I don't care where you at, you going in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Me, I'm a country boy, man. I'm from Bama, so it's like the reason why I'm choosing down south is because down south artists always had that niche, that way to find strategic ways to put a sample in of some old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's undefeated, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
undefeated.
agree.
You know.
I like that.
All right. So now we got Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar's album, Carter 2 by Wayne, and then 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I'm going with Wayne, Carter too. I gotta go with my boy Wayne.
Okay.
Gotta go with Wayne.
No way.
Carter 2, okay.
We talking about just the album, not the artist, just the album.
What was the albums
We
again?
got Good Kid, Mad City, Quarter 2, Get Rich or Die Trying.
We just go Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
She gonna have to. Get rich, man. I gotta go with 50 million, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's there for
It's jam. It's
Yeah.
jam. It's jam. Like it's classic. I guess I'm the only one going Good Kid, Mad City with Kendrick.
Yeah.
That's just
If
I knew that when you had the LA hat on.
If I didn't choose Get Rich or Die Trying, I'd choose Good Kid, Mad City. The only reason why I don't choose the Carter 2, it start off strong as ever, right?
Yeah.
But then when you get towards the end of the album, it's kind of dry. You can't go back. I literally listened to the Carter 2 on my way back from Oklahoma this past weekend.
Yeah.
It's actually my favorite Carter. So at the end of it though, I was reminded like,
Right. Yeah.
It's
We're
alright.
talking classic front to back.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That sums it up for me, man. That was my quick picks right there.
All right, so I love that. I love the quick picks. I love the diversity. So back, you stated that you are independent,
Yes.
and because you're independent, you pretty much are writing your own path. Would y'all say that, or would you say being independent is more like an entrepreneur of music where you call all the shots?
Yes, sir.
So basically, what's the challenges of being independent versus being signed by somebody?
Promo, first of all, because I mean the label's gonna push your product. It's gonna have a time schedule set for you. A process for you to release your work. So, it's pretty much you focus on the music and go with the flow. Independent, it's like, okay, I gotta figure out when I'm gonna go record, figure out shows or anything. It's just you dealing with your own time and it's all in your hands.
For sure. So what would you say right now is if you had to work with somebody right now, who would you work with, mainstream wise?
Mainstream wise,
I know you might say Cole, but besides Cole,
who would I want to feature on my song?
for sure.
Right now, I really like what Future is doing.
Yeah.
He's right now. You could put Future. You could get
On
Future
something.
and say you could let him go. Cut him loose, kind of, and just. I wouldn't have him carry my song, but it's a lot of diversity there with that. And I'm not even a trap rap style rapper.
Yeah.
But I just think you could put a different type of beat in front of him and he could thrive on anything.
Yeah.
What about you, Bree? If you was doing music, who would you do a song with?
Right now,
Yeah.
if I could have a
Besides
sit-in,
Cole, because I know you might say Cole.
I sit in right now. Honestly, man, I have to go with Kanye, man. Like just to kind of pick his brain, man. People, when people start labeling you crazy,
Yeah.
you watch that documentary, like man, you just advance.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for
Of
sure.
course, you out here doing some things that's questionable, but when you put somebody who is that creative and that educated and that knowledgeable, and they feel, and to just sit back and watch them work, man, just to be in that environment, or even if you would just send me something, hypothetically speaking, man, right now I have to go Kanye.
What about you, Jeff?
I'm going with Jay-Z. Gotta go with the
I
mind.
kind of figured that. I
Gotta
figured
go
that
with
you were
Jay-Z.
saying.
You gonna talk me to
What
a
about
check.
you, Coach? Who would you do a song with?
Hypnotized Camp Posse, man.
Let's
Give
go.
Project Pat.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know,
sir.
and I say that.
You take you to the hood.
I say that because they were the extension of Luke. Luke had the dancers and all that stuff, but they actually showed you that you didn't have to go to Miami to have fun.
Yeah.
When you go down to Memphis, you can go down, there's a strip club, whatever you got going on down there, and everybody's pretty much doing what you would do in Miami, they're doing it in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And, me being from Illinois, it's like, okay, that's kind of close. You know what I mean? And they kind of gave you that boom, that it factor. That's what I
What
love.
about you, Mark? Who would you do a song with?
Can I bring Pop back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Pop.
Justin
Right, anybody.
Backstreet Boys?
I'm going with Pop. He said,
Hey, Coach O is the jokester today.
he said, what?
Oh, man.
I'm bringing Pop back, man. Most definitely.
You got CT.
I would do a song with Biggie. I would do a song with Biggie. Because I feel like he'll bring that lyricalness out of me that sometimes that as artists we have it, but we need that dog to bring it out of us. I would love to do a song with either Biggie or Nas.
All right, I got one question for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Your top 5 all time, doesn't matter in order. Go ahead, Phil.
My top 5.
Top 5.
According to me, or
According to you. According to you. Your own opinion.
Jay-Z, that's my number 1. J. Cole. Jadakiss is in my top 5. Lil Wayne and Tupac.
Okay. That's a nice 5.
You got Bree?
I'm gonna have to go UGK,
Okay.
Wayne,
Yeah.
Kendrick,
Uh-huh.
DMX, and Ho. That'll be my 5 right
I
there.
don't know the artists like that, so let's go to this guy here.
That's like, shoot, let me get J. Cole.
Yeah.
Let me get Pac, of course.
Uh-huh.
And no specific order. You know what I'm saying? Pac, of course. I'm gonna throw Bob Marley in there, man.
Hey, okay.
Let me get Bob Marley. Let me get. I'll take Biggie because he was cold, man.
You can't leave Biggie at the
And this one is
conversation.
gonna be hard for me, man. I'm gonna give it a female. I'll go with Erykah Badu. She's the truth, man.
Okay.
You got CT.
I'm gonna go Luther Vandross.
Going old school. Okay.
I'm gonna go Luther Vandross. I'm gonna go Biggie, J. Cole, of course. This artist recently passed away, but I feel like when he passed away, he touched so many people, and they could actually understand. So I'm gonna go number 3. And then my last one, Kevin Gates.
Guys, I like guys. Mo. Good artists. Okay. Cool.
What was the rapper that got shot? He was in Memphis.
Young
Young
Dog.
Dog.
That guy is the truth, man. I like him.
Definitely a fan of him as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you're in the industry, right, and Mario, man, you should have been this quiet, man. You're in the industry, right?
Okay.
And y'all in the industry, and you know, like I said, I just love music. I don't care who the person is. I just like the beats, right?
Yeah.
But when you are, believe it or not, I used to rap, right? Believe it or not, I used to, and I was not good at all, but I was able I did it more to get my feelings out, whatever I was feeling.
Oh, for sure.
And I used to go on SoundClick. We used to go on SoundClick.com. They used to have the beats. You used to pay $4.99 by the beat, or you used to catch the ones that's free. Right? And that's when we had the old computers with the big old
The
back.
fat back. Yeah.
And we would just get the music and we'd be up there. And I'm more of a serious type, hard, pump me up type of beat. For each one of you here, what would you say is that one song that gets you charged up to just do what you gotta do, get up and grind, and just go to work? Phil.
One song, give me. Dang, that's hard. That's
It's
moments.
tough, right?
That's in moments. I say. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
You know, coach, I'll put you under pressure, right? Yeah, just like that offense, under pressure.
Yikes. Man, I don't think I.
Like what song so basically what song put you in that zone? It's like it's go mode. Whether it's your own song or something else.
Well, my own song, I got this song called Smoking. And it has a beat, like it's a motivational type of song, you know.
Word.
So my catch line is I'll be on the first thing smoking. So
Okay.
it's like,
I like that.
I like that song always get me kind of
Okay. Cool.
as far as my own.
What about you, bro?
I mean, there's a few. I mean, I don't think you can ever go wrong with the Kevin Gates. I don't get tired.
Yeah.
The old Jeezy, Trap or Die. Bottom of the Map. If we talking T.I., even old school, Bring 'Em Out.
Yeah.
Big Crit, I'm a big fan of him. Be catching him tomorrow. It'll be out in Austin. He got a
Big
song called "Children of the World."
Yeah,
I
Big
listen to that song on repeat all day.
Big Crit,
Hometown Hero. Yeah, it'll be out there tomorrow. I mean, I could go
I like
on
Big
and on
Crit.
about that.
Who you got, Jay? Go ahead and say something about Jay-Z.
I'm gonna have to go with J. Cole. I'm gonna have to go with Middle Child for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Middle Child.
Yeah. That just how I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, who you got, Coach O?
I like this song called Dodging Snakes. I forgot who sings it. I think it's from the 3-6 Mafia people. It's called Dodging Snakes. And basically it said, you know, the real gonna outlive the fake. The money gonna outlast the hate.
Yeah.
You know, I just like things that have meaning because in my life I've been hated on a lot, but I still progressed and I still went where they didn't think I could go.
That's dope.
And so, you know, that's why I like that
I
song.
like that. What you got, Mark?
Well, for me, you know, I gotta throw the curveball, and where I'm at right now, honestly, it's my playlist, man. It's my instrumental playlist, man. I got like over 250 instrumentals that I just vibe to, whether I'm working out, meditating, creating, you know, products, different products. I even let the children hear it so they can, you know, gather their thoughts and not listen to everybody else's.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll be my playlist, man. It'll be my instrumental playlist I got going.
I'm gonna have to go. It's between Mo3 and me, cause Mo3.
Yeah.
That slide on, or that outside. I like it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm finna pull up on you.
Yeah.
You know, so slide on by Mo3, or I have a song called Problem Child.
Yeah.
And Problem Child.
I like that one.
Problem Child is something that is kind of like we're learning about, you know, my life, and you know, I say more money come more problems, but I'd rather have it than not have it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just a part that I say that motivates me when I ever get to a point to where I'm depressed or I feel like I'm not doing enough or things in that sort of manner. So that's really good.
We got, man. Y'all gave mine already.
All right, so look, you got 220 songs. You got to give us one instrumental. So the viewers, they may want to go research that.
Man, I don't know the names of them, honestly. It's just a whole bunch. It's so many, man. If I feel it, it's just a vibe for me. If I feel
So
it,
give her like an artist, somebody
Yeah.
that they can just go to and be like, hey, this is what Mari.
man, it's just random. I can't even tell you artists, honestly. It's just random. I just go through and just look through different stuff. Sometimes it's a feeling. If I have a feeling I want to listen to sample beats or like old school vibe, I'll go look for that. You know, so I'll keyword in names. You know, some of these names you guys say. You know, Jay-Z, Drake, Rick Ross. You know, and I'll just pick a genre and just go at it, man.
So everybody's talking about J. Cole, which I like. I'm like you. I just like whatever music it is. If it beats sounds good, I like it. But what year were you born?
89.
Oh, then you was too young, right?
But you 20.
But you guys can research. But let's go in a day and age of like Tupac, right? You got Tupac and Biggie in the 90s, right? Who's the Tupac and Biggie nowadays, the two biggest artists today that goes head to head, that is similar to the Tupac and Biggie?
Right now, in my opinion, it would be Drake. Drake is on everything right now. And I would say Kendrick. I think Kendrick is bigger than J. Cole, like fan base wise. I think that's the more popular pick, I guess, you know.
What you got, bro?
As far as on that level, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. When we talk Tupac, I think similarity right now, I would just have to say the baby and the mindset of the attention he attracts and the things that are going on in his career outside of the studio. You know what I mean? All the allegations and things like that, and him just being able to kind of just overcome it. The music, not at all. Two different body of works as far as the music.
So
as far as
Peagler?
if we talking about, you know, that quote unquote thug life, like there are rappers out here like really scared of that dude. You know what I mean? As far as Biggie, I would probably have to say Kendrick. You know, Biggie, he didn't thrive off of notoriety like Pac did. Pac knew when the cameras was on, it's time to show out. You know, Biggie was just kind of laid back, reserved. Kendrick ain't had an album in 5 years, and he still, his last 3 albums are still top 100 Billboard. He just doing him. You know, so I would have to go with those two.
Okay. What we got, Jay? Today, not Jay-Z.
I'm going with Jay-Z.
Right.
Lil Wayne. Those are my two. That's what I'm going with.
Said today, they ain't got an album out.
All right, Mario, who you got?
Who's
Who's your Biggie and Tupac in today's day and age?
Man, that's hard, man.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
all over the place nowadays. But if we just had to pick for the sake of the conversation, just gonna go Drake and Kanye. They kind of been going at it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, rap beef's a lot different than
Yeah, it's a lot,
you know.
man.
Yeah,
Like they'll ask each other on social media and then you'll see them in a picture together, you know, as opposed to a Gotti and Dog situation. Like, you know, it's one gone, you know. So, and that just shows the difference between the now and then. Like when rappers had beef back in the 90s, you knew it was serious. You know, when you see a pop on the news, somebody liable to lose their life. Nowadays, you'll see somebody, you know, type all tough, and then you see them in a picture 2 days later. So, different day and time, man.
Yeah.
What you got, CT? Quick answer, not a Coach Clark answer.
Nah, I ain't got no Coach Clark answers. J. Cole, Kendrick. I don't really have because ain't nobody really got no beef. You really can't use Drake because Drake touches all avenues. So either J. Cole and Kendrick or DaBaby and Lil Baby.
No.
All solid artists, man. All, you know, when the people their careers making good music and been productive for a while. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
So we got about 10 minutes left. I want to touch on, this is your best friend, correct?
Yes, sir.
Jarvis, I know you asked him to come on. What was one of the main reasons why you wanted him on our podcast?
Just like with BNCT and Peagler, man, he got that spirit, man. He's a phenomenal guy. I look at him as a phenomenal guy. The way he, take care of his mom. You know, his mom is sick, but he take care of her. You know what I'm saying? He looks out for his family. He's a family guy. He take care of his wife and his son, man. And he's been phenomenal ever since I met him. He's been there. He's been that guy since I met him. So that's my guy, man.
Not having a Kleenex moment here, guys, but what about you and Jarvis?
Yeah, me and Jarvis, we started working together at the gym. That's how we met. And off back, it was just like, yeah.
What gym? You guys at Fort Hood gym?
Abrams.
Abrams gym?
Yeah,
You still
so-
at Abrams gym?
and he was there before me, so when I met him, we all started clicking like that. And it's energy, when you meet somebody, you can kind of tell if they move like you. And like you said, he been solid since day one. Even when I didn't know him that well, he was already looking out, and kind of could see myself in the way that he carries himself. So yeah.
So I think that so all of us are, as y'all can see, all the viewers, if y'all can see, everybody's all over the place when it comes to music.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing that you can say about today's music that really keeps you interested in today?
It's hard for me to even start on that one. I mean, you actually a guy that listens to instrumentals every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
But there's something about that.
something. I mean,
Because instrumentals are not like how they was 20 years ago, right? It's different.
I'm big on research, man. So that's why I had a question I want to ask you guys later on in a few minutes. But for me, it's just once I learned, who's controlling the music industry, why is this agenda being pushed? Some of the things you guys touched on. It kind of opened my eyes to certain things to where I just kind of just took a step back. Even I have a 13-year-old in the house, so he listens to different music. And I have to tell him just watch what you feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? Watch what you feed your mind. You know what I mean? So that's how I got to this place to where I'm just really just using music with no words on it to gather my own thoughts and create my own wave. So that's the biggest key for me. That's kind of got me away from just listening to anything that comes on the radio and stuff like that. I just kind of use it as a form of meditation.
So what questions do you have for the group?
What it would be the 440 hertz versus the 432 hertz. The whole, it's a lot of information out here about the conspiracy of the frequency, which would be the hertz would be the second. What is it? The cycles. What is it? Help me out.
Is that the YouTube
The
video you
cycle,
sent out?
what is it?
That's the video you sent out, right?
Oh, the number of cycles per second. That's what that is. And I've been doing a little research on it as far as like back in the day, it was set at a totally different frequency. It was sold at a totally different number. In the 1930s, I found out that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, so if you know, you know. But these guys are pretty much known for setting up not only the music thing, but the how we've been taught in school as well. So once I saw those names, it kind of got me a little alarmed. It's okay, we look into this, And from what I've been seeing is supposedly at 440 hertz per second, it's supposed to be a frequency. So we're talking about like not even the words being said, but how the track is being laid, So before we even get to the second layer of the onion about what the message is on the actual song, how you guys feel about that, the 440 hertz versus the 432? Is this something that you guys are aware of when you're making music, or you just go with the standard of how music is being made nowadays, or
Well, I have an approach on my own. I believe, I choose beats. I don't choose dark beats. For one, that put me in a bad mood off, just from the jump. So I wouldn't want to feed that to my audience.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, and also the vibe of the beat is gonna push a vibe on you to deliver a message. It has to match somehow. So pretty much, I just speak from the heart, I guess, when I go into it, trying to be more upbeat with my beat selection. Cool.
what you got for me?
You must be an engineer with all these hertz.
You the two. I mean, I was just looking.
Honestly, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I sit and I search for beats and I love shit with pianos. Excuse my language. I love stuff with pianos and whatever the vibe that I'm getting off of it, I want to see if I try to listen to it 8 to 9 times, and then I'll call somebody and listen to this beat. Hey, tell me what you think about this. Do you think this will feed the ear of what people will like? And then if they like it, we'll go with it, and then I'll lay something down to it, see what comes to mind, and normally I try to put something that didn't happen to me and something that people can relate to. To send my message. So again, the message doesn't have to be, it may not be your message for you in this song, but I know I have a message for somebody in another song.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. I was just curious, man. Some call me a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? I look into things, man.
You do very well, so.
We're gonna put Morrissey over there next week.
You gotta do your homework, man. That's a lot of music, man. Like you mentioned Future. You hear a Future beat, and you already jamming before you hear a word from it. That's the thing as an artist. Half the job is done based on your beat, depending on who you are. You're a self-conscious artist. Somebody may not like Kendrick because they like the beats ain't slapping, but when somebody's speaking on the topics he's discussing, like you got to build that beat around him so you can hear the message.
Right.
So whatever works for you.
But
Find your formula and stick with it.
And I prefer a lot of soulful type beats.
Yeah.
Like some type of sample or some singing in the background, or like some classic music that would be, old school vibe to it, and it could get you,
That East Coast.
yeah.
So you are now known as the theologist of the group. You're the theologist, you're the jokester, and then I would say you've got to definitely be the Malcolm X.
That's where you're going. At the window with the chapel.
And I say that based off of you guys got very great views that y'all have. Y'all are still chasing success in every message that you speak out, but there's always y'all have a different way of getting there.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought of megahertz? Like I listened to it, and what you were saying. I listened to the gentleman what he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually go to sleep because I have sleep apnea. I have very bad sleep habits, so I have insomnia, which I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time going to sleep, and I put my earbuds on and I listen to music, whether it's nighttime music, the rainforest, or whatever it goes, whatever. So when you talked about that, there's actually some music that if you listen to it while you're asleep, you're gonna get up and do something.
Right.
So something said, okay, let me put this type of music on. So I listen to like an instrumental beat from like it's a Kendrick Lamar, right? I like the beat N95, that song N95, right? And I get up, I start cleaning. But then I may listen to a beat that makes me tired or really relaxing, and I may want to relax.
Yeah.
So that's a great point that you made, because we're thinking about the artist, but we never mentioned the megahertz.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, that's theology. That's a gift, right? That you have, and all of you all have your own special gift and nick to it. But what I love the most about, you know, our podcast tonight was not just our special guest, which is you, Phil, the fact that we was able to kind of dive into what's going on currently and in our life, and, you know, starting to get views. And I think that's something that we have to continue, because, you know, viewers only care about what's current, people only care about what's current,
Right.
and then we can kind of go back. I think we're a very, very debatable group, which is really good. And feel free to come on our podcast anytime.
Yes, sir.
Just bring some Coke Zero next time.
I got you.
Well,
Coach O is jokester number 2 now.
so, you know, what happened in the elementary school should touch us all. As we get ready to close down our podcast, I did want to give one final viewpoint. Good 30 seconds for everybody on talking to the audience on a viewpoint of, if you had to go out there and talk to those 50 senators that are out there that Steve Kerr was talking about, I'd never seen a coach, and me being a coach, I'd never seen a coach put politics and what happened in life before him closing out a game to go to the NBA Finals, right? And I didn't think that was an act. I thought it was him being very pure, very genuine. But if you look into that camera, and we'll start with you as that special guest, Phil, you know, what would you say to the lawmakers that can go out there and change gun laws and stuff that has happened tragically yesterday?
Well, first of all, I want to say we should take our kids' well-being more seriously and take those measures to actually correct these things, because for anybody to just be able to walk into a school like that is wrong, in my opinion. There should be a process to entry to those type of buildings, which, you know, anybody can just walk in without being checked for weapons or anything like that. So that situation is way out of hand, and we're pretty much going to the wild, wild west. You know, everybody's able to carry. You know, it's not a thorough process to get your hands on a weapon. So guns specifically, I think that needs to be checked, or we continue to have this problem.
Bree?
Yeah, I mean, it's now becoming a fad. You know, we had something close to home in Belgium with the stabbing, you know, that being right up the street in Texas. Before we even go to the political level of it, it starts at the household. It starts with us as individuals, you know, being attentive to our children and what they're consuming. Like Mari touched on with his son, the music he's listening to, how long they've been on these video games, how social media is impacting us. So, you know, just check yourself at the door. Us as parents, we gotta understand what we're allowing our kids to take place, and give them an understanding, you know, understand that consequences are real. A lot of us as parents aren't holding ourselves accountable, let alone holding our kids accountable, you know, so that's where it all starts from. Because before he got to that school, he had to leave his house. And for a parent not to notice anything different with your kid, purchasing 355 rounds, walking out with heavy artillery, you know, that's something we gotta address. So, you know, start at the bottom and work your way up. That's what I would say.
Mari?
Man, it's gonna have to be mental health. We gotta get back to that, man. Just even though this young man did some did a horrendous act, I would just say just get back on your mental health, check on yourself, check on your family, meditate, whatever works for you, because these things are happening all over, and I just think we just have to recalibrate ourselves and make sure we're checking on our mental health, man, and also be who you think you are soon, like I always say for the people in the back.
TT.
I just want to say, to all my youth, don't wait until it's too late. And what would you do if it was your children? That's it.
Jarvis.
I think as parents, I think we should be able to communicate with our kids. You should be able to, come to the table instead of being on your phone. Because nowadays everybody's on their phone when they eat, when they go out to eat, like restaurants and stuff. It's like they don't just focus and just communicate. How are you doing? Check on their kids. And I think as parents, your kids are a reflection of you.
Absolutely.
So what you do, if whatever you do as a parent, it reflects on your kids. So you know what I'm saying, you get them away from all the social media, get them away from all that stuff. I think they will do better out there in school.
Yeah. Well, this comes to the end of our our podcast, and guys, all y'all have very, very unique views. I learned a lot from you, Phil. I think we all learned a lot. I love the Breonn, the quick setting of the artist, because it kind of really made you think. Mm-hmm. And also too, it makes me look at music differently. This podcast touched me to the point where it made me go back and research and look at the megahertz of music. It made me look at, is it just because Megan Thee Stallion is raw? Like, why did you choose Nicki Minaj or Cardi B or whoever you chose? It really made me kind of dive into how you guys think. As we close our podcast, we all are living in a time of perception. And as the Lord is speaking to me, I truly feel that we are living in a day and age of more evil than good.
Absolutely.
And when you said it starts from home, it does. And I get emotional because these kids are our brothers and sisters, our nieces and our nephews, our second or third cousins. We all have someone that age. When you leave the house, you're trusting not just the teachers, the bus drivers, the people that do crosswalks, walking your kids across, that they do the right thing. The last thing you expect is to never see your child come back. In an area of you going to school, you look around college, you got these players going to college parties that are there for education, they're getting shot. You got people that are going to gatherings, the carnival. Now we say, hey, no, I'm not gonna go because this is where, you remember the guys what happened in Nevada when they were at a country western thing and they got shot?
Yeah.
All these big events. Look at Astroworld with the other rapper, I don't know what his name is, y'all help me out.
Yeah.
Look at this. So my thing is that it's perception. It's perception evil. What type of perception are we leaving on our society? It's perceived that, like Steve Kerr said, that these senators are holding on to these laws for whatever reason they are. I'm not savvy or even privy to say, but I do know this. I do know that in order for this world to change, you're right, it has to start from home. Because we have to pay more attention. You know how many times we go in the store and we see kids on an iPad, right? You don't know what they're looking at all the time. So, we're going to end this podcast differently than we did last time, and just praying for the elementary school, praying for the kids, and praying for change. All of us are here to help produce change. And the OC Life podcast is about change. It's turning your life into a message. And what I challenge all of you all to do when we leave here is lead with the imagination that was one of your children. Because at the end of the day, what happens is we tend to get away from what's really real. There's real evil out there. And we talked about money. You got these pawn shops that are selling guns because they need money. And I just feel personally that if we all can come together and join together, I think this world would be a better place. Phil, I want to tell you thank you for coming out to our podcast and sharing your beautiful story about your wife and your son, and giving our viewers some motivation of how they can turn their life into a message. And I appreciate each and every last one of you here, because as we know, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. This is OC Life, where we're turning your life into a message. And we're sponsored by our platinum sponsor, Jarvis Elder with BNB-SUITES, UCS Cleaning Services. Please look at these guys, look them up, and Divine Ingredients, as well as, what's the name of your album? Tell them the name of your album so you can check it out.
Take Flight, artist name Flight Raw. Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. We want to wish you guys well. God bless.